All right. Welcome back. I was about to say, let's see where we left off. I forgot that we managed to get into the opening of Nokron City. So this is sort of a big stepping stone to the next few things that I want to do. I think I've mentioned it's a couple of ashes, the helper ashes. Didn't expect that. It's good to get more bell bearings. I think we actually got the one that comes right after that, the like 3-4 or whatever. Um, I feel like I'm swinging over. Yep. I was about to say I'm swinging over these guys, but I'm actually still stuck. Yeah, it helps us further Rana's quest or Rennie's quest or whatever, which could get us a nice weapon and an item for a tower. It's a whole bunch of things that come from this area. Now, this is sort of the most involved, I think, the most involved area of all of the, well, no, Siofra River, all the Ansel River Basin, it's all pretty big, I guess. I shouldn't. I'm saying that because it's a city, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Ooh, slow on the wind up there. Again, we don't need 4, but we're going to need some of these ghost ones for the next couple of ashes we're going to get. So I guess it's good we're, grabbing some of this. Although I imagine at some point we're going to be able to buy some of it, so I think I've said at some point, like, sometimes I'm just tempted to say, like, hey, you know what? This might not be the most interesting, but maybe it is. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Google every single bell bearing, and we're just going to check them off. And if you want to come along for the ride, great. And I sometimes think that would be helpful. To get as many as oh, that's good. It's a respec. I know I was running low on respecs. And I'm going to probably need to switch to magic at some point, I imagine, based on how I'm talking up this magic weapon. And as I've said, the endgame bosses, what I've heard, this is not my observation, the endgame bosses change things up. So everything is pretty weak to holy damage, and then all of a sudden, that build kind of goes out the window for the ending. I don't know how many on the ending, maybe the last 3 or 4, maybe, I don't know. Oh, that one's a good... It's too slow with this one. This is an interesting ash of whatever it is. Because if it's the one I think, you could probably see from the picture that was up for a split second. It's just a crowd of guys with giant shields. And so what happens is they basically can't really get damaged. So as long as it's just like normal physical attacks, I think they can just surround the target and basically... Impervious is a strong word, but they're extremely resistant to getting hurt from those physical attacks. So they can just kind of stand there and because of they sort of surround, they jam up the target pretty well. That's the guy right there with his giant shield. Get a handful of those. I've actually never used him, but it's something I've seen done, and it seemed like it worked pretty well. So yeah, let's go around collecting. When I was going to say, like, this area is more involved, there's more corners to explore. So I feel like it's easier for me to miss things. And you can see in that instance, like, he sort of tanked my hit decently, and then he, he did like a shield charge that did some damage. It wasn't insignificant. So that's sort of what they bring to the table. Now you'd multiply that by 5, and they can just sort of surround and knock the target about and maybe stun lock it. I don't know. All right, so I feel like I've covered this top. Well, I haven't been picking up the husks, but I feel like I've covered top decently. Okay, let's head down this path here. I think this is a little bit of a gauntlet, but maybe I'm misremembering. The fact that I'm seeing a blood stain tells me something. Again, I know I say this every time I come to one of these lower areas, but it's just stunning. So you can see off in the distance there's sort of like a Parthenon kind of thing. I think that's where I think we ran into that Mog guy way down in the depths of the city, and I sort of got jammed up. That's where we're also going to run into him up there. I found him very difficult. There's a thing you can get to help with the fight. Well, there's maybe 2 things you can get. I think I have one of them, which is like the shackles, which will jam him up at least in the first phase of the fight, I believe. I don't know if it works later on. If it's anything like the Margit one, which I failed to use properly in this run, I think it works 3 times in the opening areas. The first phase of the fight, not the opening areas. But he does this weird thing to you. Am I looking at stuff up top there? I am. Okay, let's just... Where he sort of puts this ring on you that can build up like 3 levels of damage, and without a second item, glad to be picking up these tiers. Without a second item, you are sort of just stuck taking the hits, and you're just gonna spend the health potions or whatever you're gonna spend to recover. The second item you get, and I forget what it's called, to go with the shackles, I think clears the status of whatever that attack is. So, as soon as you see it hit you, you got to flip over to the item, pop it, clear that status, and, get back into the mix. Picking up the mushrooms because, again, they're part of that sleep pot, I think, that I burned through some a while ago, and I don't know what the status is on how many I can make at the moment, so. Okay, so we are coming up on a boss fight, but it's not a classic boss fight. It is... let me see. It's the mimic tier. So let me just see where we are on the map really quick to get an idea. Okay, so you can sort of see. Well, we're not that far from the beginning of the city, but I guess we came in somewhere else. I don't remember So we had to travel a bit before we got to the city, and then it's not too far. You can see we're like right above this Siofor riverbank. This was sort of the castle we were looking up at. I guess it's a city. The Mimic Tier is an interesting fight. I don't know how this is going to go, but what you want to do at a minimum is... I'll go with armor just to see how far we get. But what you want to do is you want to go in unarmed because the Mimic Tier lives up to its name. Whatever you bring into the fight, it can use. But I just don't know if we can use... Oh, we can use a summon. That's going to help. Although it's not letting me... Is it? Okay. So what I'm going to hopefully do is have the summon take the heat so I can start rearming. Because you're going to see there's like one of these blobs. But what it's going to do is instead of just turning into a blob, it's going to turn into me. And then once it forms, you can see it's basically me. So what I need to do is I need to now start rearming. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Oh, it's throwing stuff at me. I guess it keeps that kind of stuff. I don't know how many health potions it has. Oh, maybe it just gets the one. Okay. So that's the trick. If you walk in unknowing, you're going to fight yourself. But if you walk in with a little prep, you can cheese it. Which, again, I'm entirely in favor of. Now, in theory, I don't know if we already grabbed it, that should open up our ability to use the Mimic Tier, which means we can potentially have double bubbles. Yeah, let's... And then this was our... Godslayer, what's this one? Dragon Cult, what's this? Bestial. Fundamentalists. I wonder what the difference is between them. We were working with this one though. And then let's get our bow back. Which means we need to get some arrows back. I didn't know if unequipping the arrows mattered, but let's get some of these back. We know we're dealing with these, so let's start there. I think we were doing this one. And then the last one, let's do this because I feel like we're getting some magic attacks. Now, did we get... This one is the one we got recently. That one might be worth boosting up. I'm not seeing the Mimic Tier yet, but maybe it's a special. The other thing that's good about the Mimic Tier is it doesn't require FP to cast. So you can actually, just about any build can use it. Like I built up a lot of FP for the Assassin Ashes or whatever that I want to get. But you don't actually need it for the Mimic. So that's further. Some people call it like the toughest Mimic, the best Mimic, the best Ashes in the game. For me, I ended up preferring the Assassin but that might have been just me not utilizing the Mimic tier properly. There's a couple things you can do. First, you can summon it while wearing a special helmet or a medallion that makes the enemies go after it instead of you, so it can really draw aggro. And second, like if you've got like just a killer build, having two of a killer build is probably the best option, which is why it's the tier I absolutely like using for the end of Volcano Manor. Because in that specific fight, you'll, as you know, we'll get there soon. There's a special thing you need to do to kill the boss, and so when you can have two people doing that thing, it really works out great. Yeah, let's see. Like, I think let's see where we are on the map again. I think that's where we went to fight the giant, like, magic elk. Yeah, you can see it. It's not that far. You know, yeah, that's the elk. The merchant, yeah, this is where we take the elevator. But yeah, now we're getting to go along the top a little more, so. Although now I'm curious, where do you pick up the Mimic tier? Because I don't want to miss it. I need 50,000. Can I get 16,000 souls here? Let me see. Nope, I'm going to fall short, and that was a waste. Like, I could run back to the hold and upgrade the Mimic tier if... Let me just double check. And, like, I'm so paranoid about missing this that... I mean, I guess we got to go back anyway for handing in those bell bearings at some point, but... I feel like it would have shown up down here or here. But yeah, I didn't show you. This is the Great Shield Soldier that we picked up recently. You can just see they just stand there with giant shields and bash into things. So that could be a fun... I feel like I looked behind here. Maybe what we'll do is... Oh, there is no behind here. Let me teleport back. Yeah, let me see if I can upgrade anything. Let me see if... I don't think I missed the tier, but maybe it's further ahead. Okay. Let's see if we can tell what that gets us. I think we're still doing the same somber smithing stones. We don't have less. We've got grave 2, but we do have ghost 1, 2, 3, so that's helpful. Okay. Maybe those are new. Yeah, let's run over to the blacksmith real quick. Now I'm going to hold off upgrading my ghosts because we probably won't be using headless for much longer. Let's see, 7. You know, there might not be much to do. I feel like at some point I'm going to be going back to this, so... Maybe I should be going back to that now. Maybe with the source seal or whatever, I can do it. Yeah, let me see what happens when I... Basically, I'm trying not to fat roll, but a plus 15 brass shields feels pretty sweet. Okay, I got it. Let's head back underground. Let's keep going. Maybe I just missed it somewhere. Maybe it's up ahead. This bridge feels ominous. Not gonna lie. Yeah, you can see, get a little bit of a better view of the Parthenon thing over there. Down there, you see that little outcropping straight ahead above my head. I think that's where we fought that one thing by itself. So that outcropping is where the 4 belfries teleport you in. I don't quite understand the purpose of the 4 belfries, if that makes sense. You know, the one takes you back to the starting location to get a couple of ashes. The rest take you to places where you're sort of... I guess shown hints of places to come, but... But I don't know if it does anything else. Oh yeah, can I ride my... This is stupid. I should be riding my horse. All right. Bridges in Souls games usually means getting usually lit up by a dragon of some type, but maybe not here. Yeah, Mog is the Lord of Blood. I keep saying Mog, but yeah, he's also known as the Lord of Blood, so this looks like a worshiper. It's nice to know they'll run face first into a wall of bubbles in their own death. Alright, what do you think? Can I get back if I go down? Again, I'm being super paranoid about exploration. One, because that's partly my nature, but two, somewhere around here is supposed to be the mimic tier ashes. Okay, so now I've gone to the lower area. I'm not sure if there was any... Maybe, yeah, okay, so maybe this is, yeah, we couldn't get up here before. Okay, that's... Celestial Horn Talisman. I'm curious what that does. Or it's a clarifying horn. Okay, maybe it's one of these. It's cool to be able to finally get up here. I'm curious if the end result is we just have to teleport out, though. Also curious to see how much there is to actually see. It's more than I've expected so far. Guess I'll go back on this side. I don't think I missed anything. So let's see what's down on this ledge, if anything, or if it's just a pathway to the lower area. I respect that. Okay. So that might be it. Or there's somebody out there who knows that I'm missing something and is screaming at the top of their lungs. So I guess we make our way back. Maybe I'll double check that offline just to make sure, because... Okay, so we... Oop, not gonna let me take my horse. So let's get back across the bridge, start working our way through those Minotaur shepherd things. Again, it feels like something should come here and kill me for just riding around with my guard down. Now, have we encountered the singing minotaurs before? These singing minotaurs have the most Tower of Latria vibe. There's been some other singing, like I think the poison hag things. But these by far, like... Now, this Lost Grace is a way to keep going into the city, but we're going to hold off because we still need to explore. But when we're done, this is basically where we want to come back to. Now, see, now I'm worried that what I'm actually looking at is another one of these puzzles where you got to light everything. Actually, a little surprised that didn't turn into something, but I think I missed one. That's why I'm going back along the road, now that I know it's one of those. Now the question is, how do you tell if there's something on the bridge that's lighting up? Basically, what I said the first time in this Seofor River, the reason why I don't like these puzzles because I want to clear, like, if you're going to make me hunt down 6 of something arbitrary, I want to know what it is. I want a clear indicator, like, am I close? Am I not close? Okay, there's another staircase. All right. Yeah, I didn't have the distance. Oh, that's fast. Okay. Let's get some distance. Heal up. Get some more distance and bubble. All right, there we go. Yeah, you gotta be careful. These guys are gonna be everywhere, and they are hidden in the dense overbrush, whatever you want to call this. So it looked like I found another staircase with flames on it like we saw in the first area. So I think these guys are tougher than the ghost versions. But like the first time, it just means you have to be exceedingly thorough. Because it's going to be very easy to miss. Who gets the shot off first? I don't know how much longer I actually can go in this session. I don't know if I should stitch together. I feel like I've been going for a decent chunk, but this is going to go badly. If they didn't have bows, I would try and backstab. This guy looks like some kind of shaman or mage, maybe. I mean, I've definitely made some progress, but I was hoping to have found and upgraded the Mimic tier by now. Oh. All right, so what are we looking at? We've got two... Is it 6? I don't actually recall what it was last time. Hearing footsteps, I just can't tell if they're onto me. Okay, somebody's onto me. Oh, do they have the pulley bow that I'm using? Is that where I got this? Now, last time we had to touch the sort of the elk, and that teleported us to the fight. But can we just do that now, or probably got to get the flames up again? It's been a while since we've seen jellyfish, but, you know, if you remember, they often are here to... I don't know if it's their mission, but it's to inadvertently, at a minimum, guide you to something of interest. All right. Oh, here we go. More path. So I think when I was in the Stiofa River, I thought I remembered there being a path that I had to follow, and I kept wondering where was it. I think it's this. And I think there's going to be something somewhat tough up ahead. I don't know if it's an invasion. I guess they're going to give us a bonfire first. That'd be very kind of them. Okay, let's keep going a little bit. I think I'm in the clear for a little while longer at least. I think it's going to be one of those tough soldiers that swoops down and basically the kind of soldier that I fought on the outcropping from the 4 belfries, which they always give me trouble. Oh, do you fight them there? Yes, there's a couple of them down there. Okay. They're like the sort of the big brother. No matter how strong you are, you never feel strong enough to face them. As you can see, that didn't do much. Yeah. And that's 40,000 souls, so it's not like I can just walk away from that, but let me think for a second. Bubbles are too slow. I don't know if the holy damage does anything to begin with, but maybe it does. I'm not going to respec at this point, but let me try something a little faster at a minimum. I've got the brass shield, so let's look at physical. It's going to be important. I'm not going to be doing backstabs, so let me get some faith going for extra damage there. And then what else can I do? I guess he's got some magic, so maybe we do some of that. I'm not sure exactly what his magic is. I don't know if it's flame or something else, but it also makes me wonder, can I, one, make him fly off the ledge? Two, I didn't have much luck with that before. And two, do I have to fight this guy? And I'm going to die, and I'm going to lose all. Okay, let's get those souls. Or let's not. Okay, 40,000's gone, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's kind of heartbreaking, I'm not going to lie. I think what it is for me is I've never been able to discern patterns in his attack or to figure out exactly a great strategy to take it on. Again, maybe there's a way to get him to go off the ledge, but I just feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to go off the ledge. But I guess it doesn't matter anymore since... That's good. I think it's 0, so I'll just be... These guys feel like they're like on official guard duty. I wonder if there's lore to this that I'm missing. So that seems like a holy damage. So maybe holy damage is just uniquely bad against these guys because they're holy damage dudes. I think actually that's like a call for help. And now is where I probably should get back into backstab. There's one that gives you extra damage for counters. I don't know if it's worth it because I'm not countering every single time, but it is something I rely on a lot because of healing. Oh, okay, that was a shadow. Oh. I have to be careful. I can't go too far back or I'm going to trigger. Although I wonder if you could get close enough to backstab and just knock him off the ledge. But my feelings are that no matter what you did, it would probably notice you and have to be a fair fight. Sounds like a... I can't tell if it's a... The voice sounds male, but I can't tell what I'm looking at. Did I clear... I believe I did. Whoa. Oh, okay, that's a reflection. I thought it was a hole for a second. This feels like a boss. Well, I mean, I don't have any souls, so who cares? I don't know if it's actually a boss, but just the wide open arena kind of vibe I'm getting. This is going to be a pain. I think this thing's going to be too fast for bubbles. Unless it holds still like that, but... No headless. I need somebody to deal with the other guy. Oh, the other one's down. Okay, good. Nope. That's no good. Delay. Yep. Let's see if there's a Stake America. Now, imagine if I had 2 bubbles, right? That's the power of the Mimic tier. Okay, so it looks like there's some poison going on, so let me up my immunity a little bit just in case. Let me do that, but then, you know what, then I'm going to call it. I don't need this, but I think then I'm going to stop for now, and we'll try this boss next time. Let me... Yeah, let's put these both. And yeah, this is where we'll pick it up next time. So thanks again. Again, chipping away, making progress, skipping the things that terrify me, and making our way through. Take care. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.